Professor Muhammad Iqbal, widely known as Allama Iqbal, was a poet, philosopher and politician, as well as an academic, barrister and scholar in British India who is widely regarded as having inspired the Pakistan movement. He is called the spiritual father of Pakistan. He is considered one of the most important figures in Urdu literature, with literary work in both the Urdu and Persian languages. Iqbal is admired as a prominent poet by Pakistanis, Indians, Bangladeshis, Sri Lankans and other international scholars of literature. Though Iqbal is best known as an eminent poet, he is also a highly acclaimed Muslim philosophical thinker of modern times. His first poetry book, Urdu, appeared in the Persian language in 1915, and other books of poetry include Rum-uz-I-Bekudi, Pa-Umimashriq and Zab-i-Ajam. Amongst these, his best-known Urdu works are Bang-i-Dara, Bal-i-Jibril, Zab-i-Kalim and a part of Hijaz. Along with his Urdu and Persian poetry, his Urdu and English lectures and letters have been very influential in cultural, social, religious and political disputes. In 1922, he was knighted by King George V, granting him the title Sir. While studying law and philosophy in England, Iqbal became a member of the London branch of the All India Muslim League. Later, during the League's December 1930 session, he delivered his most famous presidential speech known as the Allahabad Address, in which he pushed for the creation of a Muslim state in northwest India. In much of South Asia and the Urdu-speaking world, Iqbal is regarded as the Sher-i-Mashriq. He is also called Mufakir-e Pakistan, Muzawa-e Pakistan and Hakim-ul-Ummat. The Pakistan government officially named him a national poet. His birthday, Yom-e-Weladat-e Muhammad Iqbal, or Iqbal Day, is a public holiday in Pakistan. In India, he is also remembered as the author of the popular song Sara Jahan Se Acha. Personal life. Background: Iqbal was born on the 9th of November 1877 in Sialkot within the Punjab province of British India. His grandparents were Kashmiri Pandits, the Brahmins of the Sapru clan from Kashmir who converted to Islam. In the 19th century, when the Sikh Empire was conquering Kashmir, his grandfather's family migrated to Punjab. Iqbal often mentioned and commemorated his Kashmiri Pandit Brahmin lineage in his writings. Iqbal's father, Sheikh Nur Muhammad, was a tailor, not formally educated but a religious man. Iqbal's mother, Imam Bibi, was a polite and humble woman who helped the poor and solved the problems of neighbors. She died on her son's 37th birthday, the 9th of November 1914 in Sialkot. Iqbal loved his mother, and on her death he expressed his feelings of pathos in a poetic form: elegy. Who would wait for me anxiously in my native place? Who would display restlessness if my letter fails to arrive? I will visit thy grave with this complaint: who will now think of me in midnight prayers? All thy life thy love served me with devotion. When I became fit to serve thee, thou hast departed. Iqbal was 4 years old when he was admitted to the masjid to learn the Quran. He learned the Arabic language from his teacher Saeed Mir Hassan, the head of the madrasa and professor of Arabic language at Scotch Mission College in Sialkot, where he matriculated in 1893. He received intermediate with the Faculty of Arts diploma from Mari College, Sialkot in 1895. The same year he enrolled at the Government College Lahore, where he obtained his Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy, English Literature and Arabic in 1897 and won the Khan Bahaduddin F.S. Jalaluddin Medal as he took higher numbers in Arabic class. In 1899, he received his Masters of Arts degree from the same college and had the first place in Punjab University, Lahore. Iqbal married 3 times. In 1895, while studying Bachelor of Arts, he had his first marriage with Karim Bibi, the daughter of physician Khan Bahadur Ata Muhammad Khan, through an arranged marriage. They had daughter Miraj Begum and son Aftab Iqbal. Later, Iqbal's second marriage was with Sadar Begum, mother of Javed Iqbal, and his third marriage was with Mukhtar Begum in December 1914. Higher education in Europe. Iqbal was influenced by the teachings of Sir Thomas Arnold, his philosophy teacher at Government College Lahore. Arnold's teachings determined Iqbal to pursue higher education in the West, and in 1905, he travelled to England for that purpose. Iqbal qualified for a scholarship from Trinity College, University of Cambridge, and obtained Bachelor of Arts in 1906, and in the same year he was called to the bar as a barrister from Lankans. In 1907, Iqbal moved to Germany to pursue his doctoral studies, and earned a Doctor of Philosophy degree from the Ludwig Maximilian University of Munich in 1908. Working under the guidance of Friedrich Hommel, Iqbal's doctoral thesis entitled The Development of Metaphysics in Persia was published. During Iqbal's stay in Heidelberg in 1907, his German teacher Emma Wegnast taught him about Goethe's Faust, Heine and Nietzsche. During his study in Europe, Iqbal began to write poetry in Persian. He prioritized it because he believed he had found an easy way to express his thoughts. He would write continuously in Persian throughout his life. Academic Iqbal, after completing his Master of Arts degree in 1899, began his career as a reader of Arabic at Oriental College and shortly afterwards was selected as a junior professor of philosophy at Government College Lahore, where he had also been a student in the past. He worked there until he left for England in 1905. In 1908, he returned from England and joined the same college again as a professor of philosophy and English literature. In the same period, Iqbal began practicing law at Chief Court Lahore, but he soon quit law practice and devoted himself in literary works, becoming an active member of Anjuman-e Himayat-e-Islam. In 1919, he became the General Secretary of the same organization. Iqbal's thoughts in his work primarily focus on the spiritual direction and development of human society, centered around experiences from his travels and stays in Western Europe and the Middle East. He was profoundly influenced by Western philosophers such as Friedrich Nietzsche, Henry Bergson, and Goethe. The poetry and philosophy of Maulana Rumi bore the deepest influence on Iqbal's mind. Deeply grounded in religion since childhood, Iqbal began concentrating intensely on the study of Islam, the culture and history of Islamic civilization and its political future, while embracing Rumi as his guide. Iqbal would feature Rumi in the role of guide in many of his poems. Iqbal's works focus on reminding his readers of the past glories of Islamic civilization and delivering the message of a pure, spiritual focus on Islam as a source for socio-political liberation and greatness. Iqbal denounced political divisions within and amongst Muslim nations, and frequently alluded to and spoke in terms of the global Muslim community of the Ummah. Iqbal's poetry has been translated into many European languages at the time when his work was famous during the early part of the 20th century. Iqbal's Asrar-i-Khudi and Javudnama were translated into English by R. A. Nicholson and A. J. Arbery respectively. Final years and death in 1933. After returning from a trip to Spain and Afghanistan, Iqbal suffered from a mysterious throat illness. He spent his final years helping Chaudhry Niaz Ali Khan to establish the Dar al-Islam Trust Institute at Jamalpur Estate near Pathankot, where there were plans to subsidize studies in classical Islam and contemporary social science. He also advocated for an independent Muslim state. Iqbal ceased practicing law in 1934 and was granted a pension by the Nawab of Bhopal. In his final years, he frequently visited the dargah of famous Sufi Hazrat Ali Hujwiri in Lahore for spiritual guidance. After suffering for months from his illness, Iqbal died in Lahore on the 21st of April 1938. His tomb is located in Hazuri Bagh, the enclosed garden between the entrance of the Badshahi Mosque and the Lahore Fort, and official guards are provided by the government of Pakistan. Iqbal is commemorated widely in Pakistan, where he is regarded as the ideological founder of the state. His Tarana-e-Hind is a song that is widely used in India as a patriotic song speaking of communal harmony. His birthday is annually commemorated in Pakistan as Iqbal Day, a national holiday. Iqbal is the namesake of many public institutions, including the Allama Iqbal Campus, Punjab University in Lahore, the Allama Iqbal Medical College in Lahore, Iqbal Stadium in Faisalabad, Allama Iqbal Open University in Pakistan, the Allama Iqbal International Airport in Lahore, the Allama Iqbal Hall in Nishtar Medical College in Multan, Gulshan-e Iqbal Town in Karachi, Allama Iqbal Town in Lahore, and Allama Iqbal Hall at Aligarh Muslim University in India. The government and public organizations have sponsored the establishment of educational institutions, colleges and schools dedicated to Iqbal, and have established the Iqbal Academy Pakistan to research, teach and preserve his works, literature and philosophy. Allama Iqbal Stamps Society was established for the promotion of Iqbaliyat in philately and in other hobbies. His son Javed Iqbal has served as a justice on the Supreme Court of Pakistan. Javed Manzil was Iqbal's last residence. Efforts and influences. Political. While dividing his time between law practice and poetry, Iqbal had remained active in the Muslim League. He did not support Indian involvement in World War I and remained in close touch with Muslim political leaders such as Muhammad Ali Johar and Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He was a critic of the mainstream Indian National Congress, which he regarded as dominated by Hindus, and was disappointed with the League when during the 1920s, it was absorbed in factional divides between the pro-British group led by Muhammad Shafi and the centrist group led by Jinnah. In November 1926, with the encouragement of friends and supporters, Iqbal contested the election for a seat in the Punjab Legislative Assembly from the Muslim district of Lahore, and defeated his opponent by a margin of 3,177 votes. He supported the constitutional proposals presented by Jinnah with the aim of guaranteeing Muslim political rights and influence in a coalition with the Congress, and worked with the Aga Khan and other Muslim leaders to mend the factional divisions and achieve unity in the Muslim League. While in Lahore he was a friend of Abdul Sattar and Johar. Iqbal, Jinnah and concept of Pakistan, ideologically separated from Congress Muslim leaders. Iqbal had also been disillusioned with the politicians of the Muslim League owing to the factional conflict that plagued the League in the 1920s. Discontent with factional leaders like Muhammad Shafi and Faisal-ur-Rahman, Iqbal came to believe that only Jinnah was a political leader capable of preserving unity and fulfilling the League's objectives of Muslim political empowerment. Building a strong, personal correspondence with Jinnah, Iqbal was an influential force in convincing Jinnah to end his self-imposed exile in London, return to India and take charge of the League. Iqbal firmly believed that Jinnah was the only leader capable of drawing Indian Muslims to the League and maintaining party unity before the British and the Congress. I know you are a busy man, but I'd hope you won't mind my writing to you often, as you are the only Muslim in India today to whom the community has right to look up for safe guidance through the storm which is coming to northwest India and perhaps to the whole of India. While Iqbal espoused the idea of Muslim-majority provinces in 1930, Jinnah would continue to hold talks with the Congress through the decade and only officially embraced the goal of Pakistan in 1940. Some historians postulate that Jinnah always remained hopeful for an agreement with the Congress and never fully desired the partition of India. Iqbal's close correspondence with Jinnah is speculated by some historians as having been responsible for Jinnah's embrace of the idea of Pakistan. Iqbal elucidated to Jinnah his vision of a separate Muslim state in a letter sent on the 21st of June 1937. A separate federation of Muslim provinces, reformed on the lines I have suggested above, is the only course by which we can secure a peaceful India and save Muslims from the domination of non-Muslims. Why should not the Muslims of northwest India and Bengal be considered as nations entitled to self-determination just as other nations in India and outside India are? Iqbal, serving as president of the Punjab Muslim League, criticized Jinnah's political actions, including a political agreement with Punjabi leader Sikandar Hayat Khan, whom Iqbal saw as a representative of feudal classes and not committed to Islam as the core political philosophy. Nevertheless, Iqbal worked constantly to encourage Muslim leaders and masses to support Jinnah and Ali. Speaking about the political future of Muslims in India, Iqbal said, "There is only one way out. Muslims should strengthen Jinnah's hands. They should join the Muslim League. Indian question, as is now being solved, can be countered by our united front against both the Hindus and the English. Without it, our demands are not going to be accepted. People say our demands smack of communalism. This is sheer propaganda. These demands relate to the defense of our national existence. The United Front can be formed under the leadership of the Muslim League, and the Muslim League can succeed only on account of Jinnah. Now but Jinnah is capable of leading the Muslims. Revival of Islamic polity. Iqbal's 6 English lectures were published in Lahore in 1930, and then by the Oxford University Press in 1934 in a book titled The Reconstruction of Religious Thought in Islam. The lectures had been delivered at Madras, Hyderabad and Aligarh. These lectures dwell on the role of Islam as a religion as well as a political and legal philosophy in the modern age. In these lectures, Iqbal firmly rejects the political attitudes and conduct of Muslim politicians, whom he saw as morally misguided, attached to power and without any standing with the Muslim masses. Iqbal expressed fears that not only would secularism weaken the spiritual foundations of Islam and Muslim society, but that India's Hindu majority population would crowd out Muslim heritage, culture and political influence. In his travels to Egypt, Afghanistan, Iran and Turkey, he promoted ideas of greater Islamic political cooperation and unity, calling for the shedding of nationalist differences. He also speculated on different political arrangements to guarantee Muslim political power. In a dialogue with Dr. B. Ambedkar, Iqbal expressed his desire to see Indian provinces as autonomous units under the direct control of the British government and with no central Indian government. He envisaged autonomous Muslim provinces in India. Under a single Indian union he feared for Muslims, who would suffer in many respects, especially with regard to their existentially separate entity as Muslims. Iqbal was elected president of the Muslim League in 1930 at its session in Allahabad in the United Provinces, as well as from the session in Lahore in 1932. In his presidential address on 29 December 1930, he outlined a vision of an independent state for Muslim-majority provinces in northwestern India. I would like to see the Punjab, Northwest Frontier Province, Sindh and Balochistan amalgamated into a single state, self-government within the British Empire, or without the British Empire. The formation of a consolidated Northwest Indian Muslim state appears to me to be the final destiny of the Muslims, at least of Northwest India. In his speech, Iqbal emphasized that unlike Christianity, Islam came with legal concepts with civic significance, with its religious ideals considered as inseparable from social order. Therefore, the construction of a policy on national lines, if it means the displacement of the Islamic principle of solidarity, is simply unthinkable to a Muslim. Iqbal thus stressed not only the need for the political unity of Muslim communities but the undesirability of blending the Muslim population into a wider society not based on Islamic principles. He thus became the first politician to articulate what would become known as the two-nation theory, that Muslims are a distinct nation and thus deserve political independence from other regions and communities of India. However, he would not elucidate or specify if his ideal Islamic state would construe a theocracy, even as he rejected secularism and nationalism. The latter part of Iqbal's life was concentrated on political activity. He traveled across Europe and West Asia to garner political and financial support for the League. He reiterated the ideas of his 1932 address and, during the Third Roundtable Conference, he opposed the Congress and proposals for transfer of power without considerable autonomy or independence for Muslim provinces. He would serve as president of the Punjab Muslim League, and would deliver speeches and publish articles in an attempt to rally Muslims across India as a single political entity. Iqbal consistently criticized feudal classes in Punjab as well as Muslim politicians averse to the League. Many unnoticed accounts of Iqbal's frustration toward Congress leadership were also pivotal in providing a vision for the two-nation theory. Patron of the journal Tolu-e-Islam, Iqbal was the first patron of Tolu-e-Islam, a historical, political, religious and cultural journal of the Muslims of British India. In 1935, according to his instructions, Saeed Nazir Niazi initiated and edited the journal, named after the famous poem of Iqbal, Tolu-e-Islam. Niazi also dedicated the first edition of this journal to Iqbal. For a long time, Iqbal wanted a journal to propagate his ideas and the aims and objectives of the All India Muslim League. The journal played an important role in the Pakistan Movement. Later, the journal was continued by Ghulam Ahmed Pervez, who had already contributed many articles in its early editions.